All right, folks, you know what is funny? Yesterday, all right, the stock ended up the day gaining 13%, all right? You know how much volume we had on that day yesterday? 40 something million shares being traded. Ridiculous, right? Because sometimes we have more shares being traded and we end up being down a little less over than that. Today, the stock the stock closed the trading session around what, 2 something percent? You know how many shares, traded in terms of volume? 57 million shares. You kind of see, this is not retail selling. Definitely not. This is not options expiring because it's not Friday. So what is it then? This big difference? Well, you already know. Manipulation. But it doesn't change the fact that, maybe now is the time. They can do whatever they want, but things are changing. And that's why I said on my title that, hey, it's now beginning and we are onto something really, really big coming up. We already knew this, in terms of what may come, but we're getting closer with news I'm about to share like this one because the DOJ, Department of Justice of the United States of America, now disclosed that Glencore entered a guilty plea to foreign bribery and market manipulation schemes. The Swiss-based firm agrees to pay over $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. Oof. I mean, I know this might be like change money for Glencore, but still, man, we're talking about 1.1 billion. That is more than 1,000 million US dollars. It's a lot of money. And this is good news because for once, the regulator or the authorities are punishing with the right amount of punishment, with the exact good level. Because what about, Trade Zero that got fined 125,000 for, manipulating the market and restricting investors from buying AMC and GameStop back in January 2021. So now we're talking about, yes, things are starting to change. Why? Because, it couldn't go over and over like this. At some point, it has to end. Now, what's going to be the next step? Well, we know that there is a huge investigation going on with market manipulation through, doubles, block trades, and other stuff around maintaining transparency in the US market. I wouldn't be surprised if following this news, we have other big companies starting to, also be in the pipeline, also be, punished with these huge amounts, because that is what we need in this market. If we cannot get them to do the right thing, at least forcing them to, follow the rules by punishing them with this huge amount of money, at some point it will hurt, the pocket. It's very critical because at this point where we're talking about inflation, we're talking about money being a lot more expensive, we're talking about, uncertainty around the economy. Well, any companies, I don't care if you're a hedge fund, I don't care if you are Glencore, I don't care if you are, whoever, if you are in a bad spot, which I believe a lot of short sellers are, man, in every way possible, you are screwed. So if a $1 billion fine, maybe two, maybe $10 billion comes for a company like, I don't know, Citadel, what do you think is going to be the next thing happening? Clients leaving the door. And if clients leave the door, there is no more money to manipulate with. It's either bankruptcy or you cover, man. And when that happens, I will be here sitting and waiting to collect my 10 days, folks. So, yep.